Hey, Erica, it is fun and it is interesting. I agree, it's a great exercise. Let's take a look at your first frame. You see, in your first frame, you've got statistical card data arranged in the information in a logical order, definitely. You've got some sequencing going on. You've got this grid that you've got set up around this left alignment here. I'm sorry, this left alignment here, this right alignment here. But the 3500 is right in the middle of the grid, so you're breaking the grid right there. So the first composition doesn't ask you to break the grid, so that's a broken grid. I think that the contrast in the hierarchy you're setting up here is done simply by proximity and placement. So that's good. I think you've established what you need to establish there. I just don't think I think that would probably be better tucked in right there, um, as opposed to down here, kind of floating in the middle of nowhere. Second, you're introducing contrast with weight and scale. Um, so you've introduced one new weight and one new scale. There's your new scale, there's your new weight. This is fantastic. I think this is a really good job. I think the one thing I'm seeing is a little bit of hierarchy issue in that this, and this are presented the same size, same scale, same weight. So there's no hierarchy in between these. In other words, the viewer doesn't know whether you want them to look here, here, or here first. Each one has equal um, weight and distribution. Okay, this would definitely be looked at last because it's a lighter weight and it's set away from what would be considered to be the main information. This piece here, I think, this piece is interesting because you're starting to lose hierarchy here, and the reason you're starting to lose hierarchy is because you've got this phenomenon where you've basically got four different compositions on the same page: one, two, three, four. So instead of reading through the example seamlessly like one would like this, reading through, deciding what you want to look at first, second, third, fourth, and fifth, and really understanding how the designer wants you to look at that. Over here, you've got this phenomenon where there's too much eye movement in this composition. You've got the eye goes here, then here, then here, then here. Instead of taking the whole thing in one kind of, like this would be taken in at once as opposed to jumping around here, 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 and here. Do you see what I'm saying? So you got to watch your alignment, definitely while working with hierarchy and with your grid. Don't forget to take a look at that designing with the grid video I placed in this week's announcement. So take a look at that. This is great. I love this piece a lot. I think this piece is the most successful. I really do. I don't know so much about the triangular image. I mean, it's okay. I don't see any connection between the card, the concept, and the triangle. So I'm wondering a little bit about that. But hierarchy is very good. Obviously, you want 1964 Pontiac GTO A body to be number one in hierarchy, and it is. Okay, and then the viewer kind of comes up here, looks around the image to establish that, and ends up here where your action strategy is. So this is a really good job. Okay, keep pushing what you're doing. Just keep working and let this come to you. Remember, though, one thing you want to avoid is these multiple stops on a page. You can see this is clearly four stops. One, two, three, four. Whereas we look at an example like this, and we can look at this more absorbing it as one whole composition. We don't go one, two, three, four, five. This kind of all fits together, as does this, in comparison to this, which is more four different typographic compositions within one plane. All right? Any questions or comments, give me a holler. Thank you very much. Good job.